Who do you think will win in the race? Tyreek Hill or the Flash?
Tyreek Hill, obviously.
Aren't they the same person?
Everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Down the Tape. This is Zach, obviously.
I'm Hector. What's up?
If you don't know us by now, then that's your fault. You should have been listening for longer.
For real.
This week, we've got some big games to talk about. Obviously, it was just the AFC and NFC Championship.
It's coming down to the chip.
Yep. Our Super Bowl contenders have now been decided. But we're going to kind of, before we get into that, we're going to return to Around the World of Sports.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going around, and obviously 2020 was crazy, and 2021 getting a little bit better, kind of.
Still has a 2020
but still has a 2020 vibe.
For real.
But there's a lot of things going around in the league that now that football is kind of coming down to the end, we can hit a little bit more on these topics.
For sure.
They are heating up, so we got some stuff going out there for you.
Yeah, so, like we said, it's going to be Around the World of Sports. Then we'll get into the AFC and NFC Championship games. And then, again, returning to our roots, we're going to be talking about the Jets, because that's kind of what this was all started on.
Oof.
And, just as a little bit of a teaser, the shit pisses me off every year, because just like seasons past, the offseason gets me excited. I'm like, oh my God, the Jets actually have a chance to do something this year. And they probably won't. But
hey, we'll get there. Before we get started, another shout out to Pop's Trophies. Got another couple merchandise coming in.
Yep.
We got another mug. Says Molly Whopped on the back.
Show you that. Bop, bop. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
So shout out to Pop's Trophies again. And let's kick it.
Dick Yingling, we're still asking.
Hey, always rocking the Yingling.
Still asking. Anywho, so we're just going to roll right into it. And I'm going to let you go ahead and take this like always, because you're way more up to date on these things. So talk to me about Around the World of Sports.
So with Around the World of Sports, first thing I want to hit was Saturday night, UFC. Everyone saw it. Conor McGregor, Poirier. It was round 2.
That's a tough look, man.
Conor took the first one in the first bout against them back in the day. I think it was like 2014, I believe, or something like that.
It was a few years ago.
Don't quote me on it. He took that one. Poirier came out and threw some blows with him, and if you haven't seen the memes, you gotta see the memes.
Slept.
Because Conor McGregor got rocked a bit, and he kind of looked like he was an old man. He kind of looked like Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy a little bit. He shouldn't be in the octagon anymore.
Yeah, it was not a good look. And I love Conor McGregor. Obviously, I'm Irish. We kind of have to. But it's just, coming out of retirement, some things are just better left
I mean, he did fight last January, so technically he was out of retirement already. And then to see Khabib come out with his comments saying, like, I'm so far better than these guys. Do you really want me to come back to fight these guys? Conor shot back like, yo, bro, if you're ready about it, clap back. I'm waiting for you to come back. Let's go. Let's get in the ring again.
Man, stop trying to be relevant, Conor. Conor, it's not a good look.
You can't say he's not relevant. He took a loss. I mean, this is his second loss in 3 matches, but he still is 22-7. He still is a dominant force.
Right, but no one's going to remember 22-7. They're going to remember your last 3 fights.
Well, I think he's not done. I think Conor McGregor is setting up part 3 of this Poirier matchup.
You do?
I think he pretty much planned it from the get-go. Conor's fight didn't look like Conor was fighting like he usually does. I think he was like this is like made. He's going to set up a part 3 with Poirier, and then he's going to take care of that one, and then Khabib might fight him after.
And maybe you're right. I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but I don't think it's a good look.
It's taking the L. I mean, I think you should have. Yeah, you should have came out and rocked.
Go focus on your whiskey. Go focus on your wife.
Yeah,
you've got your legacy. Leave it alone already.
Moving on to the NBA. This one's gonna hit a little close to the heart.
Yeah.
He's an idol to everyone. He's a mentor, father. I mean, he's
A world figure.
Yes, he's like Michael Jordan, like helped rebrand the NBA, and
Derek Jeter.
Kobe helped solidify it. He's one of those figures, and just remembering the 1 year anniversary of number 8, number 24, and number 2.
Yeah. So we're recording this obviously on Monday. We'll release it on Wednesday, but it's tomorrow, Tuesday, the 26th, that it's been a year since his helicopter crashed.
And if you don't know who we're talking about, it's Kobe Bean Bryant.
Right.
One of the greatest players of all time.
So, we're going to take a moment, drink a nice big swig in remembrance of Kobe, his daughter Gigi, and all the other passengers that were on that plane. So, to you, Kobe, to you, Gigi, and to everybody else who lost their lives that day, Shlancha. Anywho, moving on.
Going on with that, Kobe, I hope you're rocking the courts up in heaven. And Gigi, I know you up there with him. And you on the sideline, or probably on the court.
Kobe snatching Jesus' ankles.
Yeah. Going on, NBA is starting to have quite a few issues with COVID now.
Yeah, we talked a whole lot of shit about how well the NBA is, and obviously still love Adam Silver, but how good the NBA was doing with these things, and we've had some issues to start this season.
Right now, it's mainly the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
The Memphis Grizzlies, they've now postponed, I want to say, I think 5 or 6 of their last games.
Which, not to shit talk a team.
They haven't... Well, not to shit talk a team,
but they're not like the biggest market. It's not.
But
the
they're
Lakers,
a very good team.
Knicks.
Conley and John Morant being the rookie of the year.
Sure. I'm not saying they're a bad team. I'm just saying as far as like market sizes that.
And they haven't come out to say any particular person has COVID.
Right.
They just decided, as the NBA as a whole, to just shut down the entire team and quarantine as a whole to make it even easier.
No, I get it.
I guess. Which if you want a repeat of last season where everything went smoothly,
right? I
trust Adam Silver's decision
for sure. Well, and him handling it so well last season has created this faith in fans to be like, you know what, I don't know what the right answer is, but sure, if Adam Silver says it, I agree.
Yep. I believe.
Yeah.
He's the walking Jesus of this.
Jesus.
So, on the other NBA note, I got to always add in my New York Knicks. They're hot and cold. There's a lot to talk about them. I get it. As Knicks fans, it's frustrating, but I like the way they're going. They're 8-10. They're putting very, very good fights against very, very contending teams.
Yeah.
Last night, they lost to Portland by 3 quickly, who I am loving as a rookie emerging star in this league, dropping a career high 30-plus points. And that's off the bench.
Who?
Emmanuel Quickly.
Oh, whoa, Quickly. I thought you were just saying the word Quickly.
No, his last name is Quickly, and also he's actually very fucking quick.
I see.
Dropping career high 30-plus points. Julius Randle is still rocking as the leader on that team. Barrett is coming through and coming clutch in his game, his second year in the league. 8-10 for the Knicks as a Knicks fan is optimistic for me, because right now they wouldn't have 8 wins till halfway through the fucking season.
I've heard a lot of that from Knicks fans, though, that although it's 8-10, that things are still looking up. So
right now, this is the biggest thing. I've been saying it from the key that I've been riding this Knicks streak. They have an identity.
Fair enough.
Tom Thibodeau has solidified an identity with them, and it is defense. Defense. They are ranked I think second in the entire NBA in defense.
Tibbs has always been a defense guy, though. Any team that he's ever touched has always been top 5 defensively.
And if you watch the games, I like watching them sometimes. Well, whenever I can, I'll watch the next game. It's through and through. He is enforced in them. You are going to play the entire play, and you're not going to quit.
Right.
And you see it. They get the steals, they get the blocks, and that's why they're number 2 in defense. I love it.
I'll take this one since you took the last rough one. So we're going to move on from basketball, kind of start to get into the world of baseball and other things. But in the same vein as remembering Kobe, recently, Hank Aaron has passed away, the home run king of the MLB. If you don't know who Hank Aaron is, then I'm just sorry that you don't know sports. And Larry King has also passed away. Hector brought that up to me, and I thought it happened like a year ago, but I was sorely mistaken. So for another one, I don't know if you want to pour it in there or if you want to just right out the bottle. You tell me. Mm-hmm. Hold for the beer, chug. Not chug, but pour. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, boo.
What ahead.
Boo. All right, well, to Hank Aaron and Larry King.
Hank Aaron was 86 years old. From what they were saying from family, went peacefully in his sleep.
That's good.
Like Zach said, if you don't know who this man is, you don't say you're a baseball fan.
Yeah.
Do not mention any team to me that you think is the best or what player you think. Do not talk. This man is an icon. This man is a legend. He's a staple point to the MLB.
For sure.
He is in the likes of Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he has broken barriers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hank Aaron is just a god. It is and was a god amongst men.
If you grow up loving the sport of baseball, if you grow up being a mentor, a teacher, a learner, a student, a pure passion lover of the game, you got to know who this man is, and you got to appreciate what this man did for the game of baseball.
For sure. Keeping it in the vein of baseball, Yankees go ahead and sign no, not Yankees. The Nats, I know. The Nats went ahead and signed Brad Hand to a $1.5 million deal from the Indians. And although this might not seem like a big ordeal, that might mean, tell me what you think is going to happen. So Brad Hand came from the Indians.
So Brad Hand was the starting closer of the Indians for the last few years. Led the league last year in the shortened season that the MLB had.
Their premier guy.
With 16 saves.
Right.
He leaves on a 1-year deal to go to the Nats, which for me, I wanted to bring this up because it's interesting.
Right.
As we are hometown, fans of the Wild Thing reincarnated James Karinchak. He is the setup man and potentially was being thought of as being the closer for the Indians last year.
Right.
I think he makes that jump and only being his second year, full season in the league, barely full because of the shortened season.
Right.
That's a big role.
So you're thinking the Indians traded away Hand knowing that Karinchak.
They didn't trade. He walked away on a deal. He was a free agent. They didn't trade him. He walked away on a deal. But I think they were okay with letting him walk because they know James Karinchak is going to be. And this is what I like. This is my theory. Not many kids at 23, 24 years old become closers. They're starters. They're middlemen in the lineup.
Sure.
Shit like that.
Closing is a specialty.
24 years old, being the closer of a team, and you play, just throwing a number out there, 19 seasons. You as a closer, and you become a solidified closer, you can make records.
Oh yeah,
Mariano Rivera did it.
I was thinking the same thing.
At 24, and he has a dominant arm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's gonna be Mo because nobody's Mo. No. Mo's Mo. But I'm saying as a closer, he can be one of the greatest closers of all time for sure.
I can get behind that. Now moving into the Yankees, so that I can read my notes right. The Yankees have been making moves. Talk to me about some of the moves the Yankees. I know that they've been bolstering their bullpen a lot.
So right now with the Yankees, obviously we know that they already solidified second base with DJ LeMahieu.
Yep, awesome got him back on board.
Which is great. But they've been really, really focusing on their starting pitching.
They need to.
And their bullpen.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Right now, They just went out, like we said last week. They picked up Clubber. I mean, he just came back from, I think it was Tommy John.
Right.
They're taking a chance on him on 1 year. But I get it. He is a 2-time Cy Young.
Right.
And he can win. Like, give him a chance. A lot of people come back from the Tommy John now.
Yeah,
they're actually pitching a lot better than they were.
It's not the early 90s, late 80s where Tommy John is a death sentence anymore.
Exactly. And Corey Kluber has proven to be a very dominant pitcher in baseball.
Right.
Behind Garrett Cole, obviously, is going to be the ace. Severino's coming back from Tommy John.
Right.
And he's still young. You know he's dominant. We've seen what he can do. He's a 20-plus game winner.
Yep.
Seen it time in and time out. Herman, who had his bullshit domestic violence
and got suspended for the year,
and then he wanted to somewhat retire for a year or whatever. He can come back. They also got Jordan Montgomery, and now they go out and they sign or trade from the Pirates John Talion, who used to pitch with Garrett Cole when they were on the Pirates together.
Right.
I
forget that Cole was on the Pirates.
Yeah.
Just as a quick side note.
Yes, he was drafted by them, actually.
Man, I just need to get better at my baseball. I get so consumed by football.
We actually covered that before. The Yankees tried to draft Cole first, and then he decided to go to UCLA.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that. Anyway.
So they get Talman now, but he's also recovering from Tommy John.
Right.
But he was the number 2 overall pick in 2010, and was a 14-game winner 2 seasons ago before the injury. So they obviously, if the Yankees are making the decision to take these chances on these pitchers that are coming back from Tommy John, they see something that we don't.
Right. Yeah, I will never.
And anything bolstering the pitching rotation is great for the Yankees because they don't know what's happening with Tanaka.
Right.
He's a free agent.
Right.
And J.A. Happ walked and went to the Minnesota Twins.
And it looks like, I think I read a report that they're going to try and trade Adam Ottavino and try and offload as much of that salary as they can. They
signed Adam Ottavino for a lot of money, and he has come in very clutch for the Yankees.
I just really like his name. It flows, Adam Ottavino.
And he had the 0.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And he's a Brooklyn native.
Yeah.
They paid him a lot of money, and he did come in clutch, but last season was a very down year, and they're thinking they could save more and pick up extra players for that amount of money and just having one dominant player.
Well, I guess, because we got to wrap this up, but I guess real quick, that's kind of the nice thing about baseball is there's no salary cap. You pay a luxury tax, sure, but the Steinbrenners are more than well off to pay a luxury tax. So that's kind of the nice thing is it's not like a pressing move like in football, right? So if in football Adam Ottavino played quarterback and he had a $9 million salary that was affecting the cap, they would really need to move him. This is just he hasn't really lived up to the money that we've paid him. We'd like to offload it. Yeah. If we can, we can. If we can't, we can. Yeah. You know, if someone could throw us some cash, because you can trade for cash in the MLB. That is a viable trade. Somebody could get Adam Ottavino for like $6 million. Yeah. So I mean, that's just an interesting point.
And besides that, if no one noticed, NHL has started.
Yes.
There are a few games in. The Rangers aren't doing the greatest. So besides that, we're gonna go probably chug a beer and then we'll be back.
The Rangers piss me off. But before you guys know it, we'll be back to talk about the AFC and NFC Championship games. So we'll start with the NFC Championship game since that was the early game. I just want to get it out of the way.
Yeah,
let's get the worst part done first. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 31-26 over the Green Bay Packers. And the reason that Hector and I are upset about this is because it's Tom Brady.
But I mean, I get it. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest that ever played.
The greatest that ever played through 3 interceptions.
No, you gotta admit it. He won ring. You gotta admit it. I get it. You're the GOAT. But I hate you. You suck to me. I fucking never want you to ever win. And it's just my personal biased opinion because you were in my division for 20 plus years shitting on my fucking Jets. But when it comes down to pure football, bro, I mean, he does, like, he makes it happen. I get it, man. And to the fact that 21 years of his career, he made 10 Super Bowls and won 6 already. Like, that's nuts, bro.
So this is going to be the first time this is ever uttered from my mouth. I have spent almost 29 years being wrong. I have said that Tom Brady was a product of his environment, was a nobody who had a great football IQ but mediocre arm talent, and was dragged this entire way to his stardom. I still think there is a large portion of it that is defense is helping him out. Ipso facto, he just threw 3 interceptions, barely
defense
50%.
Definitely helped him. Yeah.
Barely 50% completion percentage. But when the game was on the line, he didn't let Aaron Rodgers come back onto the field.
He managed the game.
He will, at the very least, be forever one of the greatest game managers on the face of the planet, and that's not an insult.
He will win. He will get you into the playoffs, and he will do exactly the minute you slip up. He will take that one advantage, and then he's going to make sure that you have no time to come back.
He is about to tie Aaron Rodgers. If he wins the Super Bowl, he'll tie Aaron Rodgers for NFC quarterbacks winning a Super Bowl in 1 year in the NFC, and Aaron Rodgers has spent his entire career at Green Bay. That's
Drew Brees.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's absurd that Tom Brady. Now, yes, the Bucs are not the Bucs are not the Carolina Panthers.
The Bucs are stacked.
Right? They've got great receivers, great tight end, great coach, great defensive coordinator, great defense.
They need a quarterback who knows how to game manage and win.
Right.
He is gonna and then he can take it to that level where you need that quarterback to make that step or make that pass or make that play or that decision. He can make that. He's done it enough.
47% of his career, he has made it to the Super Bowl, and if
he wins 7, that's crazy. But on another note, with
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm like Patty Mahomes.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
With Aaron Rodgers, it's upsetting because it's like the Green Bay Packers have spent 25 plus years drafting 2 quarterbacks who are going to win because Aaron Rodgers is solidifying the MVP this year.
For sure.
Brett Favre, 3 MVPs, 1 Super Bowl. Rodgers, 3 MVPs, 1 Super Bowl. And you did the same thing to both quarterbacks. You didn't get them help.
Is the Packers the worst organization ever for that? Like, honestly, like
you can draft great.
We like to talk shit about the Jets and like the Panthers and all of these teams, right? But are the Packers the worst organization on the face of the planet for having 20 to 25 years of first ballot Hall of Fame quarterbacks and to get 2 Super Bowls out of it?
6 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls.
What the fuck?
Like, Drew. And the fact and Brett Favre made it to a second Super Bowl. He lost. He made it to a second Super Bowl.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't even made it to a second Super Bowl.
He's 1 for 1. So, 2 questions.
And I know for a fact if he makes it to another one, he's going to be 2 for 2.
Yeah. Yeah, this was... And let it be said that, like I said, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions. He barely had an above 50% completion percentage. Barely had over 300 yards. He had a mediocre day. But, man, that Todd Bowles defense, that Bucs defense... just came out there and let nothing happen for the Packers.
I will say you are right. And I was watching this game.
They got 6 points off of 3 turnovers.
So halfway through the game.
3 back-to-back turnovers.
Halfway through the game, I'm looking at and I told myself, I said, damn.
I said to myself,
I said, Zach was right. I said, I gotta hit him up. And I forgot because I was getting drunk.
That's all good.
I was like, Zach was right.
Zach's always right.
What they did last week.
Said what I said.
What they did last week to the Saints was they sold out for Slant Boy.
Yep.
They sold out. I paid attention. They sold out for Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Sold out.
Because they were going to make you beat you.
Lazard showed up.
Right.
He got some catches and TD. Scantling showed up a little bit.
Right.
But they sold out on shutting down Devontae Adams. And he got... I think it was 5 or 6 catches for 77 yards.
But not what you would need in the NFC Championship. And Todd Bowles, although he failed as head coach of the New York Jets, and I'm upset about that, obviously, but I've always liked Todd Bowles, and I'm happy that he's succeeding as a defensive coordinator again. And you're right, they completely sold out. They were going to make the Packers beat them with Lazard, Scantling, and Equanimous St. Brown, former Notre Dame.
And Tanya, the
right, Tunyon, yeah, who had a decent game as well.
Yeah, he got the TD, yeah.
Or trying to run the ball, and that just isn't going to work against Tampa. And like I said, Tom Brady on 3 possessions threw 3 interceptions in a row, and Packers got 6 points from it.
Now, what kills me is that crucial moment. The right before the 2-minute warning.
Right.
My thing is on that 3rd and 9. Right. I think it was the 3rd.
So it was regardless. It was 3rd and goal from like the 7-yard line.
But Rodgers had a wide open field. Like, Rodgers' instinct, like, what I want to know, and I don't know why hasn't anyone asked Rodgers this, why didn't you take off? Why didn't you run?
Well, so I think the funny part, I think...
No one's asked him that question yet, though. Everything is LaFleur.
Well, let's break it down. So, first of all, to explain the play, Packers are down by 8 points. A little bit over 2 minutes left. Rodgers drops back. He's got a wide open hole to the right. Like I said, it's 3rd and goal from the 7, and he's got a wide open hole to the right, literally wide open. You've got one receiver with man-to-man coverage in the back right corner of the end zone.
Linebackers going in the direction of the receiver.
Right. Everybody else is middle to the left side of the field, and he's got this hole to the right, and he decides to try and throw it instead of running it. And what Hector is saying is he could have made it, and he could have, but let's not pretend. So I think it's funny. Or
even not make it. Shit, you get tripped up by the D-line behind you. That linebacker catches up to you.
Right.
You have to fucking run out of bounds to not take the hit or whatever.
Right.
I get it. But then you put myself at a 4th and 2,
right.
at a 4th and 3 situation where the options are endless at that point.
So I look at it multiple ways. I think it's funny that you as a skinny, fast person are thinking run for the end zone. Me as a fat, slow guy is thinking, fuck, I could never make that. So I don't blame him for not running that because I'm like, fuck, he couldn't have made
Rodgers
that
can move, so he's not a fat, slow guy.
Not really.
What? Did I just say Aaron Rodgers cannot move?
He's not a fast quarterback.
I'm not saying he's fast. He's mobile. He has taken off for 10, 15-yard first downs.
He's mobile. He's mobile like Nokia. Stop it. Okay? Call that man mobile.
Oh, man. Yo, this is going to be the first time
that you get to see us fight.
I'm going to slap what I slap. Like, I'm going to slap what I slap.
Become the chieftain of the Slapaho tribe. But no, in all honesty... And I agree with you. He could have at least gotten a 4th and short, right? I agree with you there. But in the end... Which
I think changes LaFleur's decision of going for it.
See, but this is my second part to this. I disagree. I would rather have that completion in a 3rd and longer in the end zone because you only have 7 yards to the end zone, 8 yards to the back of the end zone. That's not a lot. That's what, 15 yards? Yeah, but if you get down to 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, now you only have 11 yards. Any sort of zone defense is gonna...
has proven in those short distances with Adam to make it happen.
100%, and I agree with you.
You got a QB run. You could give it to Jones to push it in. You can throw it at Adams. You got Tunyon. You got all these.
In the end, I agree with you because even if you don't get that 4th down conversion, you're forcing Tom Brady to drive 98, 97 yards down the field. I agree with you. At large.
In less than 2 minutes.
I agree with you at large.
Known for doing, but Green Bay would still have their 3 timeouts.
Right. It was a boneheaded move by, I guess you could call it Aaron Rodgers on that 3rd down, although it's easy to Monday morning quarterback. But it's an even bigger boneheaded move because after that incompletion, obviously it's 4th and goal from the 7 or 8. And they go down by 8 with 2 minutes left, 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the NFC Championship against Tom Brady, and you go for the field goal?
And then you're...
Talk about rolling over.
And then you're like, oh, I thought we would get a stop. You're giving...
Tom Brady!
You're giving one of the greatest game managers of all time, who only needs to get a first down.
To end this game.
Not he needs to drive, 40 yards for a field goal or anything like crazy like that. He needs to get one.
Yep.
One first down.
Yep.
and it's over for you.
Yep.
You're gonna give him that opportunity. Are you stupid?
Yep.
Mind you, you could barely stop Fournette's run game.
Yep.
Godwin made you look stupid.
Mike Evans was having a game.
King was the 12th man on their squad.
Yep.
So you're gonna go and you're gonna give him the opportunity to get one first down. You're retarded.
And then it's easy to talk about like the defensive hold or the defensive pass interference and the review.
Which was a blatant. I mean, it was a blatant call, but they were letting them play all game.
Exactly. But I'll be the first person to say it should never come down to one call.
Yeah.
Although I think it was a bullshit call because they've been letting them play all game.
And the ref hesitated so hard. He wanted
like
to
60 seconds later.
Definitely waited to see how the play ended and then threw the flag.
Right. Which I disagree with. And then that was weird to me, by the way. A play that's not talked about is after that, they stopped the game for like 2 minutes for a booth review of 12 men on the field.
Who booth
Have
reviews
you
12 men
ever
on the
seen
field?
that? The dude was running. Yes, technically he was on the field. Yes, technically it's a penalty. Don't fucking at me. Don't tell me I'm debating that there were 12 men on the field because there were, and it was a penalty. I'm saying I have never seen a booth review. That means that nobody called a timeout. Nobody did nothing. That the fucking officials in Bristol or New York City, wherever the fuck they were, decided to say, nope, let's put a pause on this fucking game and decide to throw a fucking flag. And it took like 3 minutes worth of review. Honestly, like we all sat there. Even Tony Romo was like, what is going on?
Don't speak of that man's name.
I actually like Tony Romo in the booth. He's overrated because everyone's like, oh my God, he calls the play before it happens. He was an NFL quarterback. That was his job. Okay, so stop it.
NFL quarterback.
Right.
Never won a Super Bowl.
Right. So in all honesty, man, let's just roll straight into the AFC Championship. The Chiefs win 38 over the Bills 24. Although this is only a 14-point game, like, are you surprised?
I'm not. Patty Mahomes. Like, I mean, I'm not surprised the Chiefs won. And I thought it would. It is exactly what I thought it would be.
Right.
I just would like to see if the Bills could have possibly pulled it out. It would have been nice.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy that the Chiefs won because I like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah,
I like the Chiefs.
Them. I love that team.
As a Jets fan who has many Bills Mafia friends, I would not have hated to see the Bills win.
It would have been
the Bills have earned it, and the Bills Mafia is easily the greatest fan base of all time.
Tampa Bay a fucking run for the money,
right? But the Bills Mafia, the Bills were a Cinderella story, and they got out to a quick 9-0 start and 9-0 start, and that was pretty much it. And then the Chiefs did what the Chiefs do. And they just speed kills. I mean, jet sweeps. Tyreek Hill is
okay. The cheetah is. Yeah,
I know we had that stupid joke in the beginning, but to be honest with you, I genuinely believe he was struck by like some extraterrestrial lightning or something.
It's scary because he catches the ball, and the minute you catch the ball, you can see the entire defense is shook. They're shook. They're panicking.
Yeah.
Because the minute he catches the ball, it's just a whole different level of speed. It goes 0 to a bajillion in a heartbeat second.
And the crazy thing is if you watch the play, you'll see people running around full speed, but you'll see Tyreek Hill kind of like half-assing it, letting blocks play out and picking his hole. And then, like I said, everybody's running at full speed to catch him and almost keeping up. And then he decides, I'm actually going to run now. And everybody disappears off the camera.
Which is the point of the joke today. The man can run at 100 miles per hour straight ahead.
It's absurd.
And make a complete 90-degree
stop on a dime
turn at 100 miles per hour.
0
and
to 100, 100
not
to 0.
Stop. Not nothing, just make the turn and continue at that speed. Like, it's ridiculous.
That man must do like 10 hours of yoga on his ACL every day.
He's the Black Flash. Like, I swear to God, he is the Flash.
And speed kills to an extent of, yes, we can talk about Patrick Mahomes, McCole Hardman, Pringle.
He is Kid Flash.
Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. But on the McCole Hardman, there was a jet sweep. They had him in motion, little handoff, and he goes for 51 yards. What's missed on
Hardman
that play...
is quick, too.
Yeah, he is. The whole team is quick. But that's what I'm saying. On that play, McCole Hardman goes for 51 yards and had 2 offensive linemen in front of him throwing blocks 50 fucking yards down the field.
I want to look up those
Speed
linemen.
fucking kills.
And I want to know
Oxygen.
how fast their 40s are.
4.4 40s.
These guys have to be the most in shape linemen in the NFL to run 50 yards down the field
in front of a wide receiver.
Pancaking dudes like, ugh, get out my way.
Bro, these aren't like some bullshit, okay, tap you on the shoulder blocks. You get a pancake, you get a pancake.
And what's crazy is,
you get a pancake.
And Zach can contest to this. When linemen come out for those kind of blocks, they are good and they are content with getting that one pancake you drop to the ground. Cool. I got a pancake and you drop.
I'm falling with you. No, I'm falling with you. I'm taking you out and I'm going on top of you. I'm the butter on that pancake.
You need one block and that's it. The receiver got the rest. But these guys are pancaking you and looking for the next one.
Yo, bro, in high school, now I get it. Yes, high school is the farthest thing from the NFL. I'm not comparing myself to an NFL athlete, so stop. But I was the smallest and quickest lineman on our team. It's why I played guard and was always pulling. If I didn't hit somebody by the linebacker position by 10 to 15 yards deep, I'm stopping. Bro, I'm not running more than 15 yards. Because you want to know the one time, story time. You want to know the one time that shit happened that I actually decided to go past 15 yards and run my ass out?
You got side blocked?
Yeah. Was against Middletown in the very last game. We ran a quarterback tray all the way to the end zone. Shane winds up scoring a safety. Mollywalked my ass. Joe Dean comes over and picks my ass up and goes, bro, you just got knocked the fuck out by a kid who's like $110. Like, this is bullshit. This is why my ass doesn't run past fucking 10 yards.
I, on the other hand, had a very good game that day. I took a kick return 90 yards for a TD.
I had a good game, but like got my ass kicked by a $110 safety. It was bullshit.
And also pancaked a few guys myself.
No, but so, in all honesty, like that team that whole team is a cheat code. Tyreek Hill is a cheat code.
Now,
they had a blunder early with McCole Hardman dropping that fumble.
And it's not like the Bills did anything wrong. They had a great game. Josh Allen went out. He balled. He threw for 2 TDs.
Good coached game.
Complete president. The only thing I don't like was they sold out for Diggs too.
Right.
They sold out to shut out Diggs, which was obvious.
The Chiefs' defense is one of the most underrated defenses in the league.
They're a complete defense. They are.
I love that honey
But
badger.
they give up a lot of points.
Yeah,
because they know.
But I gotta look at it statistically. When do those points happen?
When they don't care. When they don't care and they know they're gonna outscore.
When they're up by 50 fucking points in the third quarter, yeah, sure, fuck it. I'm not selling out to stop anything. Get the 30-yard touchdown. I don't give a shit.
You got it written here. Can the Chiefs back-to-back?
I think so. So, first of all, again, story time. I've been tearing people apart on football groups, and somebody said two-peat. Well, he had repeat and back-to-back at his disposal, and he went with two-peat, and I just found that to be ridiculous. You guys should look for my comments on Facebook groups, because I've just been taking to rating people.
So Zach, over the last, week, has been on, no sleep, and all he does is stay up all night and just, go off on these guys,
rating
night,
them.
Just
negative 1,000 out of 10 would not recommend you take your head out of your ass.
It's hilarious. It should almost be its own
series.
It's great. He rips these guys apart.
But because I'm an insomniac and you people are fucking stupid. Not you.
But I agree.
You people are smart for listening to us.
I agree. I think the Chiefs can back to back. I think they will back to back.
So, brief side note, the Chiefs are going to go to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the Super Bowl, right? Obviously, is the outcome of these two games. Tampa Bay, we forgot to mention this, is the first team in NFL history to host their own Super Bowl.
Yes.
Now, technically, they will not be the home team. The Chiefs will be. But Tampa Bay is where the Super Bowl is being held. Tampa Bay is going to the Super Bowl. It almost happened for the Jets, but they suck a couple of years ago. But Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the first team to host a Super Bowl ever in NFL history.
Yep.
And the Chiefs have to go in there.
It's crazy that Tom Brady is on his first season with them.
I'm done with that.
Just more history.
We're moving past that.
I'm just saying there's just more history added to it. It's just crazy.
So you think the Chiefs can go there and do it?
I think the Chiefs will go there and do it. I think Tom Brady, if he wins 7, cool. It's not going to stop Patty Mahomes from beating your 7. Right. I think eventually, by the end of Patty Mahomes' career, he'll get to 7 or more.
I think no matter what, this is going to be history being made, right? Here's the storylines. So obviously the story's already set in stone. Tom Brady's made his 10th Super Bowl.
It's nuts.
If he wins his 7th, that's a story in and of itself.
He already broke record with 6.
Right. It increases the record at 7. It puts to bed the Belichick versus Brady conversation.
He already put that shit to bed when he made the playoffs.
To be honest. So it really closes that book, but then it just continues to build on the legacy that is Tom Brady. But if Patrick Mahomes wins, so first of all...
It's shoot rockets his career.
Right. So first of all, we've had 3 AFC championships in a row in Kansas City. We have now back-to-back Super Bowl appearances by the Chiefs, and if they win, back-to-back Super Bowl wins. And Patrick Mahomes is now receiving the GOAT torch from Tom Brady.
Well, yes, because eventually Tom Brady will be leaving.
Right.
Don't know when.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes... So
the torch will... Okay, so I'm going to try to foreshadow what you're going to ask.
I got you.
Whenever Tom Brady decides to leave, I do believe he passes the torch to Mahomes.
Right.
Now... Me and Zach spoke before we jumped on. Brady won his first Super Bowl at 24 years old. Then lost the next year.
Right.
And won his next 2 in a row. So I put him at 27.
Yep.
Patty Mahomes, if he can pull this one out, will be 25 with 2 Super Bowls. He won his first at 24. So he's already ahead of Brady at that point. I believe they win this one, they three-peat next year. If they don't win this one, I still believe they win next year because they're going to be on a vengeance. And which puts him at a slighter disadvantage to catching Brady, but I still think he's catching
AFC
Brady.
championships in a row.
But if he can three-peat these next, even just winning this one,
right,
he's already ahead of Brady because
right.
Brady didn't win his next one to the next year.
I think statistically speaking, the Chiefs are favored to win the Super Bowl for the next 8 years.
As long as they keep this roster and they keep smart, well, obviously things will change. Obviously, offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, he will eventually.
Not have a job right now is absurd.
I'm mad at that, but I'm not going to get there.
Yeah.
But I do believe by next offseason...
That brings in a whole skin color conversation that might be too heavy for you guys.
I do believe by next offseason he's a head coach somewhere, though. Which will change how the Chiefs potentially play. You got to keep the same... Everything matters if you want to keep winning. So if you change OCs, DCs, quarterbacks, running backs, whatever, shit happens.
But I guess, so my question then, so before I go back to what I was saying before, quick question. Does Eric Bieniemy leave to be a head coach? I mean, yes, who doesn't want to be a head coach? But if you found your niche and you're winning
he already said he wants to be a head coach.
But why? If I'm Eric Bieniemy, why would I want to be? I could go on and be a head coach and maybe fail, or I could continue to win 3 million Super Bowls.
Yeah, but are you getting the recognition as winning those Super Bowls? No, it's the head coach. It's the head coach.
When I walk around to all my fancy parties and show all of my rings.
They're going to be like, yeah, but did you really lead that team?
Yes, I'm the offensive coordinator.
No, it's different when you're the head coach and you built and ran that entire team, not just a part of the team.
I guess.
Not just a part of the team.
I guess. But what I was saying before is, do you think Tom Brady ran from the AFC because of people like Mahomes and potentially Josh Allen?
I like that because it came up in my head and I was like, yo, he knew.
You got the only way
to get to the Super Bowl was around Patty Mahomes, and he knows he has to beat him to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So why would he not think let me go to the NFC where at the worst comes to worst, I have to beat him in the final game.
Right, but who's in the NFC, right? Don't come at me. Yes, there's Drew Brees. Yes, there's Aaron Rodgers. Yes, there's Russell Wilson. But all of those people are amazing and have not really lived up to the hype. There's no dominant quarterback in the NFC. So Tom Brady going there... Exactly. So Tom Brady going there is pretty much a sweep, and he doesn't have to compete with anybody legacy-wise. In the AFC, you have Patrick Mahomes, who is... As of right now, I'll call it. I said what I said. He is the first ballot Hall of Famer and the next GOAT. And you have Josh Allen, who could...
I second that. I said what I said.
You have Josh Allen, who could potentially give Patrick Mahomes a run for his money. If he continues a career this way, he could be Tom Brady's Peyton Manning, if you dig what I'm saying. Like, we could be talking about Mahomes and Josh Allen like we talked about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning for a long time.
And I see it. I can see it. I can see it. The gameplay is obviously not the same.
Right. But I'm just talking about the legacy
conversations. But the legacy conversations, yes, I can see it. It will be a friendship rivalry.
Yeah,
that's what
I think they're friends, and they should be.
They're a friendship rivalry because they're both GOATs,
right?
Who competed at the highest level against each other to win Super Bowls. Obviously, one trumped.
Right.
One trumped. So I can see it, but I do believe Josh Allen will get. He like you said, he will get one.
I think Josh Allen will get his, but I don't think it'll be nearly as many as Mahomes.
No, I don't think he'll.
I saw a report the other day.
Like you said, Peyton Manning. I think he gets one.
Right.
Peyton Manning got two, obviously, because he went to the Broncos and got another one. Right. Kind of like how Brady left the Patriots after 20 seasons.
That's a switch of an entire division as opposed to a conference.
Yeah, but it's the fact that Peyton did 20 years or 19 years with the Colts, won one, and then went to another league. And
because they drafted potential next Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, who they couldn't protect and then decided to retire. Good for him. But anyway,
we're ranting.
Yeah. So that's all we have for the AFC NFC Championship. I need more beer. So
best of luck to both teams.
Yes. No.
No. Best of luck to the Chiefs.
We're taking the Chiefs to win this. Although I think Todd Bowles has called great defensive games and has been
it'll be a very good game
against. He's only had to shut down Devontae Adams. He's only had to shut down Slant Boy. He's not had to shut down an entire fucking team.
Hey, you want to hear my prediction?
Talk to me, Goose.
I said what I said. Patty Mahomes is dropping 45 points on the Bucks.
Woof. I think right now the Chiefs are favored by 3 with an over-under of like 55.5.
I said what I said.
You're going to drop 45?
He's dropping 45 on the Bucks.
Oof. I'm not coming at you with a hot take like that. With that, we'll end it. We'll pour ourselves a beer. We'll be right back, guys. Thank you. Here's the New York Jets, like we promised. So, again, kind of returning to our roots and giving the Jets a little bit of a shout-out here.
Yeah. They kind of deserve this one now. It's
I have cautious optimism. I'm trying not to dive off the deep end. So, if you haven't been paying attention, the New York Jets have hired former San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to be their head coach, which one thing is NFL history because he is the first Muslim head coach in the NFL, which let me be very, very clear, and I've had to explain this to people in, again, those NFL groups. And hear me out until the very end before you come after me. It should not be news. It shouldn't be, because it shouldn't matter what your race, religion, or creed is for the job. But it is news because people like me, and I will speak as a white man, people like me have always had the representation in everything. So when you get these firsts, it should be news, and it is news. And this is a step forward to hopefully a future where this is no longer news, whether you're black or white or Asian or Muslim or Jewish or so. I'm happy about this because hopefully this is a step forward towards not becoming news. A, as far as that goes, let me address that. And B, I like Salah. I do. Regardless of the whole, NFL first and all of that stuff. I like Salah because of what he did with the 49ers defense and what he did with that team. I like him because of, and I know, yes, the 49ers were not that great this year, but keep in mind they were just devastated by injuries this year, which made it very hard to compete. But B, all of the talk, Richard Sherman has come out as, lauding. A
huge, supporter of Salah.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I have a notion that I mean, his contract is up. He might come to the Jets for like a 1-year deal and help that defense for a year.
Which I would be supremely okay with, because Sherman signed this 1-year deal with the 49ers, and it never really affected their cap space because he negotiated his own contract.
Agent. Yeah. He's his own agent.
Exactly. He negotiated his own contract. He and made most of it to be incentive based, so it never really affected the cap space. So I would not be upset with him coming to the Jets under a similar contract, especially since, again, it's not going to affect the cap space. Yes, he's not
plenty of cap room.
Exactly. He's not the world's most amazing cornerback right now, but
he's still a top elite quarterback.
He is still an elite corner, and he is a great voice in the locker room.
Yes, he's a leader.
On both sides of the ball, yes, he plays defense, but on both sides of the ball, he is someone that you want in your locker room on your side. With that being said, the Jets also, Salah brought over Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, younger brother, to be his offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur. So that is a pretty good sign for me as well. The Jets
then they brought over defensive coordinator Jeff I can't say his last name.
Yeah, neither can I.
But he has a nice fucking beard.
Yeah.
He has a fucking nice beard.
I'm going to go ahead and trust most people.
If you have a nice fucking beard, most of the times, you can trust him.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Matt Patricia didn't work out as a head coach, but, like, it's okay to not work out as a head coach. You can be a good coordinator. Todd Bowles right now did not work out as a head coach, and he's in the Super Bowl.
So far for the Jets, Salah has solidified his whole coaching staff.
Yes, already.
He has solidified his whole coaching staff, and now they're just strictly focusing on the lineup, the roster that they have.
Right. And the Jets have a lot of holes. We need help at the line. Becton was a great start and is one of the top 5 defense in the league, but we need still help on the line. We need wide receivers. A lot of people say we need running backs, but I disagree. I think Perrine is
You got to give Perrine a shot.
Yeah, he never really has.
A shot. Also, you don't quite know what Frank Gore is going to say. He hasn't quite said he's retiring.
I don't think he'll come back.
He's leaned back, but if Perrine could be a starting running back and he just uses the supporting role, or just something like in that case,
right? I can see it.
And plus, we still have a lot of draft capital to get a running back.
The Jets over the next 2 years, this draft and next draft, have 4 number 1 picks in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
That's not to include 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th,
So they got the 2nd pick this year and the 23rd pick from the Seahawks from the Jamal Adams trade.
Right.
Now, next year's picks, they also have 1 pick from via a trade, but the other one is via whatever the season rolls out to be.
Exactly. So we don't necessarily... Salah has not committed to Sam Darnold.
He hasn't committed to anyone, which I like it. If you haven't
Except for Marcus May as a safety, that's pretty much it.
If you haven't listened to the interview of his, his hiring or introduction, whatever.
Right.
Listen, it is very. That interview is just so articulate. It's so smart, well spoken. No wonder he won the job.
Yeah.
He sells you on it, and he's a player's coach.
All gas, no break.
He's a player's coach, and he's not going to play that. And I like it. He's not going to play that BS.
And you noted to me before that Woody Johnson, now that the Trump administration is done, I don't want to get into politics, but is coming back to take over the team as an owner, and is giving Joe Douglas the reins as GM.
So Woody Johnson comes back over after his 3-year term as the UK ambassador. As a Trump supporter, whatever. And obviously everyone knows Woody Johnson is the football smarts to that organization.
It's definitely not Chris. Yeah.
Christopher had no clue what was going on.
No.
So what's happening now is Woody Johnson's coming over, and he's coming over with a force. He's taking complete control and leaving his brother with a prominent role with many, He's throwing him to the side and saying, I got this little bro.
Right.
And Woody Johnson is the football head of the brothers.
Right.
He is known to be very overspending with his money. You know, Darrell Rivas 2.0.
Tim
Tebow.
Yeah.
You know,
he's made
like
some
that.
poor decisions.
Brett Favre. But he is a football head.
Right.
So he's coming over. He gives Joe Douglas full reins. And Joe Douglas now is just like, this is the Joe Douglas I expected.
Yeah.
Because now Joe Douglas goes out. He gets Salah.
Yep.
Who Salah is very interested in meeting with Woody Johnson to get a connection with him.
Yep.
He goes out, lets Salah picks his whole
Gave
whole
him
team,
free reign for whoever he wanted as coaches.
Team, and is kind of like giving Salah the free reign of the roster and telling him, give me feedback and let me know what you think we should do.
Right, which is a very interesting point, right? You have Joe Douglas, who set up the Eagles to win their first Super Bowl. You've got Salah, a first-time head coach, and a defensive-minded head coach, which does cause me some reservations. But you have those 4 draft picks. You have 4 draft picks over 2 years, 4 first-rounders. You have $86 million in cap this year.
I think they got 14 picks in total over the next 2 years.
So we have some interesting things to do. Not to mention, there are some serious quarterbacks out on the market. It
makes it really interesting now.
Right. You have people like maybe Aaron Rodgers following in the footsteps of Brett Favre.
Maybe Matt Stafford.
Who's already parted ways with the Lions and they're going to seek out a trade. And then you have the big story.
The one that I'm sorry. I'm selling the soul to the devil.
Yeah, is Deshaun Watson. So this does tie together. So Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans, has just had a hell of a career down there and nothing's become of it.
He's a multiple Pro Bowler.
Yeah, and they've just wasted his time.
They sold his number 1 receiver in D-Hops
for a bag of chips.
For a bag of air that comes with the chips.
Right.
They didn't involve him in the next GM decision.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and although that might not seem like a big deal, they didn't involve a player in the GM decision. When he signed his
it makes sense.
Right. When he signed his mega contract with the no trade clause, with all of these things, they promised him a say in the GM, a say in the coach, and they just pretty much spurned this guy. And it doesn't matter at this point. He wants out of Houston. But the point that this ties all in is that since Salah has been hired, and again, Richard Sherman has come out and said, Watson, you need to go there, and has supported Salah. Watson has named the Jets as one of his top 2 trade destinations, and the Dolphins being the other. So this is very interesting, and we've kept bringing up draft capital because, well, that's what you use to trade. So Watson wanting the Jets having a quarterback that they want to move.
And the Jets have more draft capital than the Dolphins because the Dolphins just recently used most of their draft capital
to build a team.
Yes.
Right. A good team at that.
Very good team, yeah.
So I don't think Watson goes to the Dolphins. I honestly think Watson comes to the Jets, and I think the Jets may be able to get him for the 23rd pick and Sam Darnold. Maybe a couple of other rounders, but I don't think nothing insane.
I think they're going to go on a 3-team deal.
You said that to me. Explain that a little bit.
I think they're going to go on a 3-team deal. So what I'm thinking is Sam Darnold's going to go to the Detroit Lions.
Right.
Matt Stafford is going to go to the Houston Texans, and Deshaun Watson is going to come to the Jets. Now,
and then
there's also going to be some picks and player swaps and maybe an extra player or 2 or whatever. But ultimately, I think that QB triangle is where it goes.
Which is a very interesting thing to say because you don't really see... So, in the NBA, you'll see those big blockbuster triple team trades and...
But for QBs, that's insane.
Yeah, you don't really see that in the NFL. You usually just see man-to-man kind of trades.
It makes sense. I mean, think about it.
I hate it.
Detroit's on a whole rebuild. Sam Darnold could restart his career there and restart Detroit. Hey, whatever that may be, don't laugh at it. Don't laugh at it. They can do their own thing and try to rebuild Detroit.
That's a hot take.
Texans are going to get a veteran, very good QB, and the Texans have a really decent team. It's a team that can still potentially make some runs,
right?
With some
hole fillers down there,
with some hole fillers,
right.
And then Watson comes over to the Jets, and it's a complete rebuild. He's 25 years old, so it's in the range of the
right
quarterbacks that we want.
I mean, the Jets, and to say that, not to mention the Jets have the number 2 pick. They have the 2 and the 23rd this year. So
whichever one you give up, you can get a offensive weapon. Defense, whatever. I really want a offensive weapon. We really want a receiver, and even with Watson, we're still gonna need a receiver.
Right. Well, if you trade the 23rd and Darnold,
Watson will make the receiver core that we have now a lot better than Darnold can.
100%. 100%.
Crowder and Perriman, I can see if they stay healthy, both 1,000-yard receivers.
Oh, I just can't believe you disrespected Mims like that.
I'm not Mims. One, started injured last season in his rookie year.
Right.
Came back to play well. But he still needs to prove himself. Right now, Crowder and Perriman are proven receivers in the NFL. So Watson automatically in his head are going to go to proven receivers in the NFL. I think Mims will get his reps. He'll do very, very well. And under Crowder and Perriman could take a little bit of that pressure off while Mims starts to really do what he got to do.
And there's other quarterbacks.
And with Watson, of course, he's going to elevate him.
Right. And there's other quarterbacks that are on trade blocks or free agency that we haven't talked about. There's Jimmy G.
might be on the run.
Carson Wentz.
Because a lot of people are saying Matt Stafford to San Fran.
I wouldn't hate that. But I don't know if I want Jimmy G. And I obviously don't want Carson Wentz. But there is still Dak Prescott. Let's not forget about Dak.
Quiet over there in Dallas.
He played on a franchise tag last year, got hurt like 6 games into the year. So we still have.
It's been quiet over there in Dallas.
He's still. They can slap him one more time with a free
I don't think
franchise.
So. Jerry Jones already came out and not too long ago and said he kind of has a little bit more leverage now.
No, he 100%. Yeah, Dak owns that, but I don't want to get into a diatribe about that. The point being is that obviously, as we've mentioned, the quarterback position is one of the main things that the Jets need to fill because Sam hasn't lived up to what some people have thought.
He's not horrible because he did have to do. No, your face. I don't want to hear it. He has to. You give the doubt to a lot of quarterbacks other than Sam. In the Jets.
Yeah, fuck the Jets.
He had to deal with multiple different head coaches and multiple different OCs in every year in his career.
Maybe if he won, he wouldn't have had to do that.
Maybe if the Jets didn't hire shitty head coaches.
He was a turnover machine.
You want fucking cokehead Adam Gase?
That's definitely making it.
Like, come on.
He was a turnover machine at USC, and he has. He has
been a lot better on his turnover. I'm not fighting you on this because I said what I said, and you're gonna feel what you feel in a few minutes, boy.
So the question being. What do you think the percentages are that the Jets trade Sam Darnold?
If they make, and I think they will do a serious push for Watson.
They have to.
Then Darnold's automatically in the deal of bringing him in.
Sure.
If they don't go for Watson, I don't see them going for anyone else, and I see Darnold staying and.
I think it's a 100% chance that they trade Darnold. 100%. 100%. Because they have the number 2 pick, even if free agent quarterbacks fall through or trading quarterbacks falls through.
This man's going to tell me some bullshit on Justin Fields. I feel it.
There it is.
I feel it.
Well, first of all, let me say.
How did I know?
I'm going to hit you with a blockbuster right now. I think the Jaguars draft Justin Fields. And especially if that happens,
over
the Jets,
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
And then Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets?
Yes.
And then it works out perfectly fine for us anyway?
I still don't like Trevor Lawrence. I still don't like Trevor Lawrence. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched the movie Draft Day, he reminds me of Bo Callahan. He is, I don't think he is what they say he is. There's something about winning is easy. I don't want a quarterback who's always won. I want a quarterback who knows what it's like to fight. We're New Yorkers, bro. We don't always win. In fact, we never do. Not to put a fine point on it, but when the nation got fucking attacked recently, it wasn't any other state. It was fucking New York. Okay? New Yorkers are always attacked and always under fire. We need to learn how to fucking lose and fight from the bottom. Trevor Lawrence doesn't know how to fucking do that shit.
Justin Fields obviously.
Justin Fields does.
He couldn't.
All right. Alabama is an NFL team, and anyone who says otherwise is bullshit, okay?
Clemson got over them.
Once.
But, hey, more than Ohio State.
It's the Big Ten versus the SEC, sir.
I don't want to hear it. I said what I said.
This is bullshit. With that being said, I think Sam Darnold gets traded no matter what. The Jets are in a good position with great head coaching. I'm not upset that Woody Johnson's coming back, which is weird to say because I hate Woody Johnson.
I think he's
Joe Douglas is 100%. Joe Douglas is getting the reins back. The Jets have a lot of draft capital and a lot of cap space.
It's interesting. They got $70 million in cap space. They got a lot of draft picks,
and this is going to be one of the most interesting NFL offseasons.
This is Joe Douglas' second season in the draft,
right?
So it's not a rush because they signed him right before the draft last year.
Exactly.
So he kind of had no say in what the drafts kind of were.
Yeah.
This would be a good one because
right.
he has the number 2 pick, like we said, the number 23. He has multiple 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round
some
picks,
seconds,
crazy shit like that.
Yep.
But I know all in all, in the next 2 years, he has 14 picks to play with.
I want to say we have like 9 this year, and then 5 next year.
I
could be wrong. Yeah. But
Something
the
like
point
that.
being is that there's a lot of capital to play with. There's a lot of holes the Jets need to fill. But this draft is also deep for those holes. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. We've got a lot of
free agent market.
This free agent market, is going to be crazy. You've got, like I said, Stafford wanting a trade, Watson wanting a trade. Maybe Drew Brees retires. Tom Brady might retire. Maybe goes to another team.
He might go to another team and win a Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers might go to another team. I mean, Carson Wentz might go to another team.
Would
Dak
you take
Prescott.
Aaron Rodgers to the Jets?
Yes.
Okay.
No hesitation. I don't care what Brett Favre did to me. No hesitation. I said what I said. It's Aaron Rodgers. We're going to end it there. I'm going to cut out everything after it's Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to chug this beer. And
cheers. I said what I said. Give the camera a little bit of a dap. It's on the right side.
So
boom.
What I said.